this right here is the gaming setup that I built in the last video. Now, if you haven't seen that, I recommend you go check that out before watching this one. I'll leave a link in the description. So, yeah. Now, although I said in the last video that this was my dream setup, it wasn't my dream desk. As you can see, if I pull it, this thing moves around like crazy. It's on these really skinny and cheap legs, and it is actually warping. The middle of the desk is starting to warp, which is very, very bad. Now, I've always wanted to make a crazy floating desk with like a crazy setup on top, and in today's video, that is what I'm going to be doing. Just want to show you my pumpkin. What do you think of it? Put a little screen on there, and then we'll go from there. It's nice browns with some marshmallows and stuff on. So this is the scrap wood I'll be using to make my desk. It's very wet at the moment, so I may take it inside and let it dry out a bit. But yeah, this is what we're going to start building it with. Now, I started building this bit yesterday. This is the corner piece for it, and I just wanted to make sure that it would actually like fit with all the wood that I had. So yeah, sorry I didn't show you this. I just wanted to get it done and out of the way. Now, you're probably wondering, why is this not cut at 245 to make a nice 90 degree? And that is because this chop saw here, the motor's blown. Not sure how, haven't actually used it before. Well, not used this one before. Tried to fire it up yesterday, doesn't work. So that is the reason why everything has to be hand cut, and why we don't have any clean 45s to make that nice 90 degree angle. In the end, I had to use this jig to put both pieces in to make sure it was at a 90 degree, and then we could put them together and add a nice strut for structural stability, because this thing is not going anywhere. So yeah. So the thing we need to do now is build the other one of these, and I will actually record it this time. And this will be the frame pretty much. So yeah, let's get some measurements and we will carry on building. Okay, I think I got my pieces. Now, let's go. Okay, this one is all nice and measured up. I used combination square here just to make sure there was a straight line, and that when I cut it, you know, it is actually the correct length. So yeah, let's cut this. Okay, so now we've got this cut, we're gonna cut the 90 degree piece, and then we can start putting this thing together. So we've got this next piece measured up. Let's cut this out now, and then we can finally start putting it together. Okay, so now I have both pieces pressed up in the 90 degree angle jig. We can now start drilling our holes, putting our screws in, and all that. So let's okay, so I'm going to quickly explain how I'm going to drill these. So I'm going to use the 2.5mm drill bit to drill all the way through here into here. Then I'm going to countersink them so that we don't have any screws heads sticking out, and it's all nice and flush. Then, obviously, just going to use a regular drill bit to screw them in. I'm using 25mm screws as well. I found that when I did it yesterday, that was what made it the most strong. It bit into the wood most. So, yeah. Using these. Okay, so I just piloted the 3 holes now. I'm gonna go over it and countersink. So let's do that. So I just countersunk the holes. I know it looks a little bit rough, but we're gonna put some screws in, and then that joint should nearly be done. I actually picked up the wrong screws, so we're gonna be using some 40mm instead. That's what I meant to actually pick up. But yeah, let's whack these in. So now we've got all of these nice and drilled in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to get ready to do a cross beam. So let's do that. So what we're going to do is repeat this on to that one. So now I'm using the square to make sure that this is all nice and at a 90 degree angle. And now what I can do is screw this brace in there. Just like that. Nice and simply. And this should work. So let's do that. Oh yeah, and I'm using some 25mm screws again. These are just some silver ones. I couldn't find where I put the other ones. So yeah, let's get this done. Okay, so just like that, we have it all at a nice 90 degree. So now we can get these two attached. It is perfect. There we go. Right, that is ready to go on now. So, as you can see here, we've got them both putting a nice little vise together. Obviously, you can see here, there's 2 different pieces of wood. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do maybe 1 or 2 of these across there. Only short ones. I'm just trying to join it together and give it a bit of stability. So yeah, let's do it. I just want to say, it does look very, very cool, I can't lie. Yeah, look at that. So I'm probably just going to put these 2 here, obviously fasten them in place. But yeah, that should hold these 2 together pretty nicely. So now I've just put the braces on. We're going to have to see if it will hold. And if not, then I don't really know what else I'm going to do. Because, yeah. So let's take it out and see if it holds it together. So just like that, the frame is completely finished. This is it. Wow, not completely finished. I need to wait until next weekend for this all to dry out. It is not the driest at the moment, as you can see. I mean, this side's not too bad because I did it yesterday. But yeah, it all needs to dry out before I can sand it and paint it a nice white colour. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait a weekend and come back to it. So yeah, I will see you next week. It is Friday, I finished work for the week, so we're going to carry on with the setup. Now what I'm going to do is take this whole thing apart and just leave the desk in there. So I'll cut back to you when I have that done. So everything is now taken off the desk. You can see all these wall plugs that need to be filled, and I'll do that another day. However, as you can see, the desk in here is too small. It doesn't reach the whole way across. And that is exactly what I want to do. I want to have a desk that goes all the way across there. As you can see, that's not achieved right now. The frame that I've built is the same width as this desk. And I don't want that anymore. I want it to be the whole length. So we're going to have to take this apart and do some modifications. So, yeah, I guess let's do that. So I've got the frame back out and I'm just figuring out how I'm going to do this now. So I think I'm going to take this brace off and extend using these again. Extend this like this. I think it may be easier if I do that. Add another one of these on the end here. So that way we've got more structural support and all that good stuff. So I think that's how we're going to do it. We'll see. I'll cut this off, make this nice and clean. But yeah, I think that's the plan, so let's get started. Okay, so a lot's happened since the last clip. I extended all of this, put some brackets in there, put this little one in there. It's all nice and stable, nice and in there, and it's all together. This is perfect now. However, it is looking disgusting. Sand all this down, take all that off, make sure it's nice and, minty. And I want to paint it a nice white colour, just yeah, so that it looks good. After about 20-30 minutes of sanding, we're looking like this. It is looking good. We're gonna get this paint opened and get straight to it. We're losing daylight. It is getting later and later. So we need to get this painted now. So it's the next day. I let the paint dry overnight just to make sure, I didn't disturb it or anything. And it was getting later and later, so I didn't want to do too much more anyway. Okay, so I've taken out half my bed from my room and we are ready to start putting the desk, well, the frame, on the wall. So I'm probably going to mount it just underneath these wall plugs. And I think that should be the right height for me, so I can sit it and it will be, the right level and all that malarkey. So I went and got some hardware, and I also got this. I got a 10mm masonry drill bit to go with these screws, the bolts, and some more plugs. There's 6 of these in here. I think that should do the job of holding this whole thing to the wall. Also got some new bits for my impact, and we picked up the desktop, which I'll show you in a minute because it is just a sheet of MDF. We got it cut to size and it needs to be painted. So yeah, so I went and mounted the frame on the wall with the help of my dad, and we managed to get 3 of these huge bolts in there, and this is holding it very nicely. Now the wall is 100% out. I have test fitted this, and this is a perfect 90 degree. So the wall is out, so that's the reason why there is a big gap on here. Now we did have to put a leg in here because we couldn't get a bolt on here. I don't think it should matter too much with the visual appeal when the desk is on, so I'm not too worried about it, but it is on and it is looking good. Now I'm definitely going to fill all these holes up in here. I did used to have shelves in here, and then I put my brand new setup on it, didn't fill them, so yeah, started filling them in here. I'm going to do them for the whole thing, and my room definitely needs to be repainted, so I'll do that at some point. But yeah, super happy with how this is looking. So I've got the MDF outside. I've just put on a first coat of this grey / urban slate paint. It is a special wood paint, so yeah, it should be waterproof and it should be weather resistant. I mean, it's going inside, but yeah, that's good to know, so in case I spill something on it, which hopefully I won't, that it should be perfect. But yeah, the coat went on super thick. I probably only need to do 2 of these. I definitely need to paint the edges down there, just these two front ones, because that one won't be seen and neither will that one. So yeah, I'm gonna finish this up and then we'll go clean up inside. So I've just finished the final coat. I'm gonna leave it for a little bit before I put it on the actual frame now, but it is looking so good. I really like this space grey colour. I think it looks so clean. Yeah, so let's wait a bit, clean this brush out, and then we will put it on. Okay, so I have now got the worktop on here. I actually screwed it on using these brackets, as you can see, going all the way along there. Now if you see that gap right up in the corner, that is because the wall is out. The wall dips in like that way, so this is perfectly flat, but the wall is out, which makes that higher up than it should be. So that's not a problem. It's nice and solid, as you can see. Yeah, very happy with it. Now I have ordered a bunch of stuff from Amazon. It should be arriving today, which will go in place there, and you'll understand a bit more later why that needs to be switched around. So yeah, overall so far it's looking very good. So yeah, I'll cut back to you when I have all my stuff in from Amazon. So I just got my Amazon order in. We've got a bunch of these what even are they? They're like pinboard tiles, and they come with one of these little accessories over here to hang stuff on, like cups and stuff. We also went and got some new LED strips. I needed a new pair because my ones have gone all old and stuff, and half of them are changing colours when they shouldn't be. Then we also got a brand new Logitech G305. Need a new mouse. My old one broke, so I was using a very cheap one. And then finally we have got the cable rack type thing. I think that's what it goes, or is called. It goes underneath the desk and will hold and holds all of our cables nicely. It is a cable organizer. There we go. So I'm gonna go start again, all this installed, so let's go. So I'm gonna install this first right under here. I'm gonna mount them to this support and that support there. They've got some nice holes which we will use, and put that just under here. So let's get that knocked out first, and we're just gonna impact it in. So I just went and put the cable rack up. It was a bit annoying to put up because my impact couldn't quite get in there. So the screws aren't quite straight, but it doesn't really matter. Right now we've just got my big extension lead in there, and this is nowhere near going to be what it will look like. Obviously cable manage it inside there, but I just wanted to get it up, to get it off the floor. But yeah, it's looking good. I think now we're gonna move to some LEDs, get them under the desk, and looking good. So I've just got the underglow installed. It looks so clean. As you can see there is a lot of spotlights. Yeah, I went a bit overkill, but the outcome is beautiful. So I can't wait to open this mouse up and see what it's about. So let's do it. And just like that, the mouse is on. Now you click it to turn it on, I believe, and should be set. So let's hopefully get this connected.
So, it is the third week that I'm working on the desk. Now, I've done a lot since I last recorded. I put up all these panels, put all the things in the organisers, put some LED strips behind the monitor, obviously set up most of like my equipment, like we've got my Xbox set up and all hooked up here. All that is left to do now with this setup is cable manage. As you can see, that is shocking, and that is the last bit to complete the setup. So I've only got one monitor mounted, and there's a reason for that, and that reason is because I do not use my computer anymore and I do not need to use it for anything. So there was no point me having a second monitor, and I think it just makes the whole setup look so much cleaner and so much better. So I've just finished cable managing. It's not the prettiest, I won't lie. I'm not very good at it, and I don't really care a whole lot about it, hence the reason why I bought this, to hide it all. But that is literally the setup finished. I'm so happy with how this has turned out. Yeah. So that is pretty much the end of the video, guys. Thank you very, very much for watching. If you have any suggestions, please leave a comment down below. And that is it. Peace. And we can ride the boogie, share that beat of love. I wanna